The purpose of this video is to learn how to draft line, move points, add points, delete points, as well as making sure that your points are connected. And you will find that all of these are important in creating and drafting, splitting apart your patterns. So moving out to my skirt pattern again with my draft lines on it. The first thing that we're going to talk about is points. So as I had mentioned, a square is a grade point. A point along the line, such as the one that I am moving in on here, could be either a straight point or it could be a curve point. And the way I know is by double clicking on it. So if I double click on this point, it tells me that this one is a curve point. If I took it off curve, is this a straight point, a point on a line, and I click on OK, I can see that that point actually moved. So I do want this to be a curve when I apply it. So now, if I wanted to move this curve point, I want to use the icon called Move Point. So I'm going to come over here to Move Point, our hotkey, which is Q, and I can click on that point and then just drag. As I mentioned before, all of the icons have a submenu that pops up, and it will tell you in the coordinate system which way you're moving. So if I wanted to move it in the X direction or horizontal direction, I could have 1 inch, 2 inches, but in this case I'm just going to have the X direction be 0. I don't want that point to move horizontally. I do, however, want it to move vertically. So for example, I wanted to move 1/4 of an inch. Type in 0.25, or I could also type in the fraction. I can do either one, and you'll notice that it converts it to decimal. And click on OK. So you notice that my point actually moved. Now I can also delete by just using Edit and Undo or Control Z to not move a point. The next thing that we want to take a look at is that we want to make sure that we don't have duplicate points in an area. And if I zoom in on my hip, I can see that I have 2 points that are relatively close to each other. Plus I have this little kind of crosshair that is actually a dart. So we're going to deal with this. We're going to kind of clean up this area here. You don't want points too close together. So I'm going to use the select tool, right mouse click, select tool, and I'm going to get rid of the point that I don't need. So I click on the point, I right mouse click, and select delete. Now, I've just gotten rid of that point because, again, you want it to be a nice clean line without too many points. Now, I want to double check to make sure that a grade point is actually connected, and this one is connected. If it is not connected, then when I actually grade my pattern, which is coming up soon, that it'll cause problems with the actual measuring. So I want to make sure that all of my grade points have connected points. Now you'll see that here I have a notch, and this particular notch I actually want to get rid of. Now I can do this 2 ways. I can double click on that notch, and sometimes it's hard to get to the notch because it comes up with piece info. And I don't want that. I want just the notch itself. So you see with that it has highlighted with the little square. I can select it and then I can use the delete key to get rid of it. That's one way. But another way is that I can change all of my notches. So maybe I want to keep them, but I don't want this to be a T notch. I'll be showing you that in a later video. So this video has showed you about moving, connecting, and the types of points.